Ross Hillary here to present for the staff.
Yes, for the record, Ross Hillary, Community and Economic Development. Before you is PUD 26-8. This is the Fisher's Fieldhouse. As you mentioned, this property is located right off of USA Parkway. This is the full parcel as it is today, but we are only talking about the area shown in the black rectangle. That property is currently zoned PUD-M, and this is one of those permitted uses within that PUD. This is the current site plan as it is today. You can see that this development is, again, in that eastern portion. As mentioned, we will have 3 users here, the Indy Ignite headquarters and practice facility, a 20,000 square foot user on the west side, and then the primary user, which is the combination of volleyball and basketball courts. Here is the current floor plan, and I'll highlight those 3 different uses. Again, the 20,000 square foot user on the west side. The blue is the flex court viewing areas and restrooms, and the purple area is the 29,000 square foot Indy Ignite practice facility and headquarters. We will wrap around the building a couple of times. I wanted to show you this rendering. This is from the north, along with that northern spine entrance in the middle. 3 different users. There will be 4 primary entrances in total, with 2 on the north and 2 on the south elevation. Here is a close-up of that Indy Ignite practice facility and headquarters located on the north side of the building. Here is a close-up of that primary entrance that will welcome guests and visitors. As we flip to the other side of the building, this is another very similar entrance, which has a large-scale awning, which looks like multi-story in nature. This is the entrance to that flex court area. And lastly, this was sent to you as an update. This is a rendering of that 20,000 square foot user on that western corner. This will include an awning at the entrance along with window glazing wrapping both the south and western facade. I'm going to show all 4 sides, then we'll go around the building one more time. So again, here are the elevations for the north, west and east elevations, and the south elevation. Along the northern elevation, here's an enlarged image of that north facade. This is that spine entrance to the field house. Again, multi-story in nature, allowing a lot of light into that central corridor. We'll shift down that north facade again to the Indy Ignite practice facility. We'll go over the colors in a little bit, but here you can see some distinct color differences on the metal paneling for the Ignite entrance. As we wrap the building, this is an enlarged east facade. Opportunities for window glazing has been added where available. And then lastly, 2 enlarged images on the south side. Again, that primary spine in the middle, welcoming users to the field house. And then as we shift down, this is again that south elevation, that entrance for that 20,000 square foot user. Lastly, the building is a combination of insulated metal panels in various colors. You can see here those color palettes. The Indy Ignite entrance includes accent colors of slate blue, deep sea blue, and night horizon. And the horizontal slatted material is shown here in weathered zinc, which is that top one on the right. That is throughout the site plan. The building will also have window glazing at the entrances and translucent panels. With that, the petitioner is here to provide samples. Yes, they're here. Petitioner has met with the staff to modify elevations as presented. Staff has met both with Delve Design and the Buckingham Development Group. We will continue to work with the petitioner on HVAC screening as well as landscaping and buffering. We will do all that through the Technical Advisory Committee process. So staff is recommending approval tonight with that condition that petitioner continues to work on those mentioned items through TAC. Happy to answer any questions.
Thanks, Ross. Any questions for Ross or the staff at this point? Thanks, Ross. We can hear from the petitioner if you're inclined.
So Stephen Franks with the Buckingham team, Jeremy Whaley with the Delve team. As Ross mentioned, just here and happy to answer any questions you may have about how we reached this point in the process and where we go from here.
Thank you. Any questions for Petitioner?
Yeah. Can you just talk a little bit about the buffer to the east with the neighborhood? I think that's the biggest thing that I just wanted to get a little bit more detail on. It's pretty close to those houses on the back there, and I was just wondering what's currently between there, what's gonna be there, and it looks like there's a line, but I'm assuming that's a drainage that runs north-south in between the road and the area?
The intent here is to use both existing trees in that area as well as berms and additional proposed landscaping to provide a sufficient buffer to avoid things like noise and headlights going into that neighborhood.
Yeah. I think that would be the biggest thing for staff, just in terms of when you all are working with TAC, that we really are aware of that, so.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And we have, so on that, it's actually encroached into this property is an existing fence line. And so that has been top priority for sure, as well as the process that we went through for the event center of meeting with those neighbors in the adjacent neighborhood. I think once a plan is put together, being able to have the Buckingham team and Delve and appropriate parties go meet with them to talk through that proposal to make sure that everybody's comfortable, that's an important piece of that for us as well.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other?
So I'm assuming that this is a PEMB, pre-engineered metal building. So from that standpoint, and you're using architectural metal panel in some really good areas, right? My question is that, and there's the orientation. I'm trying to figure out which way this is going to face, right? And what goes out to public area. Because I see some windows down along there, which is great. I really like the architectural metal panel way better than the pre-engineered normal stuff we put on that, right? I know that's more expensive. I don't know if other additional accents. Megan, you guys have been looking at that at all? So it doesn't look like, it looks like an upgraded pre-engineered metal building. How about that?
Maybe Jeremy and Stephen, if you can walk through the different color variations that, do you have those different colors of the panels?
Can I walk up there?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please.
Security will just be alongside.
Sorry, it's a little kid apart. But I mean, what we're trying to do, there's, on the upper portion of the building, there's three primary colors that we're playing with. And the goal there is, they're 3 foot wide metal panel.
Yep.
And we'll have 3 contrasting grays, essentially. And we're trying to pick colors that are somewhat timeless and that signage allows it to be on the part that pops for the facade itself. And then where you see we have a 4th metal panel, there's a 12-foot datum line. So you're talking about scale, and that's one of the kind of key lines that we've got across the entire elevation. So portions where we have the translucent panel, which is this piece here, which kind of inserts itself with kind of regular intervals, is a darker metal panel that kind of carries that band across.
Yep.
And Pete, the view, the one that we were at is if you were, imagine like in the Link building, looking to the south. So that's
Okay.
the side from there.
And I think for us too, is like, for the team and making sure there's there's really no back to this building, but by having 2 entrances, it helps kind of break up that scale, and that's a big
Right.
part of it. So you'll notice this is probably maybe the main one, because like, the other ones are different tones of gray. This is a copper penny that we're using for a box rib profile. So this is the profile that have regular box rib at the main entryway and for the Ignite as well. And then a warmer color for the primary entries. And then the Ignite will use a darker gray. So I know that these are all kind of lost in the tone, but I think the goal for us was not to create too much contrast for the field panel, just enough to create that texture. But then really celebrate the entries with glass and that copper penny finish. And then we'll have, you can see on the rendering there, nice linear lights as well, and then accented by the angular columns, again, as large as this building is, to try to bring that scale to a place that celebrates the entries. Sorry, I mean, as far as the actual specifics, they're labeled on here. I don't know.
The entry points look great. I have no issue with the entry points. The rest of the building, which I know is where you just add costs and it doesn't really bring you anything. right? That's my only question. Is there anything upgraded we could do on the side? Not that I wouldn't approve it either way, okay? I'm just stating, because it looks like a big giant field house.
Right.
I'd like
And-
to see, this could be a flex building, right? And you're sitting down we're putting all sorts of major properties down there, right? So I'm going, is there an upgraded panel that we could use? I know the answer is yes, because I work for an architect. So, but I also know the cost of them. So that part I get too, right?
Yeah.
So that's my only question. Is there something we can do to make it not look like, and you can see all the lines I'm looking at here, on all the top end lines you've got. Now, I'm not an architect, although I work for an architectural firm, so forgive me, right? And you see all those, that's what kind of makes it look like a pre-engineered metal building, which of course it is, right? So I don't know if there's anything there accent-wise that we could continue to add there or not, or is it worth adding that or not, right? I don't want to make the thing so damn expensive that you're not going to get it done.
Right.
That's contrary to what I want to do.
I think the intent, and not to speak for you, but I'm going to.
Right. He is an architect, so that's good.
I think the intent with, that's why you've got is it 3 colors of gray essentially
Right.
up at the top? I think that's the intent of the 3 colors of gray up at the top,
Right.
is to create that breakup without, yes, you could, I guess you could, in theory, you could play with different thicknesses of the panels to create more shadow line along that. Again, you're just adding cost. At that
Right.
point, you're not adding
Right.
anything other
Right.
than cost and a shadow line. that
Right.
Now you've got to maintain and, I think, so the west elevation, I think, is broken up a little bit because you've got, especially now that you've got that 20,000 square foot user on the end, you've
Yeah.
got it breaks up the scale of that.
Correct.
I guess, I don't have a problem. I think that this makes it look very flat because all the colors just kind of blend together. And in a way, the panel joints are accentuated because they're black
Right.
in the drawing, where I don't think the panel joints are gonna read as much in reality. You're just gonna see that tone of, that color of light to medium to light to dark to, I don't know if there's a way to maybe a little bit more differentiation of the colors of gray, or maybe throughout that you introduce a pop of color into that, so that maybe that just kind of breaks up that elevation a little bit more, kind of like what you did with the Ignite entry. Maybe not that much of a contrast over the rest of it, because again, I think you want to allow place for signage and things like that to kind of play out, so.
We've almost kind of framed the more special or custom panels at the entryway, and that's where, with the Ignite, we do have the custom colored
Right.
ones to help kind of create that. So in some ways, like trying to make sure that the field panel creates texture, it's timeless, and that you kind of accentuate and make sure you draw people's attention to each entryway.
Right.
And that's kind of, I think that's what we're adding. Thinner panels, a little more color in those spots. That was kind of the goal. Yeah, it is definitely a large building, so we're trying to figure out where you kind of pick and choose where you draw the eye. What's nice is that with the southwest corner and the northeast corner kind of being the most public nodes as you drive into the site or walk to the site.
And that's where most of the architectural panel is.
Yeah, and they're
Right.
both celebrated in its own way to a scale that feels more.
Yeah, it's
appropriate.
much more pedestrian scale at the corners, which
Okay.
obviously that's the intent of that. Yeah.
Just a question. Sorry,
No, it's
Brian.
good, it's good.
I think to your point, though, that mass of the long south elevation and the long north elevation, to your point of landscaping, I think that landscaping along there,
Yeah.
getting some verticality with
Yes,
landscaping,
for
whether
sure.
it's trees or,
Correct.
it's gonna have to be trees, it's not gonna be bushes at that point. It will help break up that mass as well.
And
Yeah, the
that's-
petitioners provided us the first pass of the landscaping, so we provided those comments back, and that is one of our
Yeah.
primary goals, is to have this to be a very lush, meeting or exceeding all of our landscaping standards. So.
Okay.
Good. Thanks, Ross. Thank you.
Can you go, so just to clarify, one more. Yep, thank you. On the bottom left corner, keep outside the building on the other side, that's a path? Is that a path? Okay.
Yeah, that showed up on the site plan. You could see a
Yeah.
path on the
That's
south
what I was
property line that then
wondering, yeah.
runs up to east
That's what I was
property line.
wondering, yeah. So, no, on the outside of the parking lot. So.
Yes,
Basically
there-
right on,
there-
the pro-
yes,
almost
there
on the
is.
property
And so
line.
that'll connect to
Up
what's
to
to
the
the
event
north
center. To the other
and
part.
connect out to the,
Yeah.
to the
There's a
west.
path that's down there now, I believe, isn't there, Megan? Going behind all the Thompson Thrift stuff and,
So that will go up to the Link property, so where JD Sports is now going.
Okay.
This will then connect up through Buckingham's
Buckingham,
development.
right, okay.
And so we're working with Buckingham on their piece of it, of really making that a meaningful connection between this,
Right.
this site up through their development into the event center and all those other areas.
Okay.
So I would anticipate during the Buckingham PUD submission that that's where we would be able to talk about that trail connectivity.
connection.
Okay.
But it's hard to see from this plan, but the goal is that anybody, whether you're a resident, if you're here with your kids at volleyball games, that whole trail does connect you down through 126th Street and up and throughout the entire yard development and Fishers District development.
okay.
Perfect, okay, great, thank you.
No more question, I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Pete, a second by Megan. Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Stevenson.
Yes.
Whoops. Sorry. Mr. Curran,
Yes.
Ms. Baumgardner,
Yes.
Mr. Bender,
Yes,
and Mr. Stevenson.
Yes.
Mr. Peterson.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kay. We have a unanimous approval. Thank you, gentlemen. Look forward to it.
You can take your baby back.
Yes. Parting gifts.
Start building it.
Yeah, thank,
So Howard, our other petitioner was not able to make it tonight. Would you still like to hear the item?
yes, why
that.
don't we go ahead and hear it? Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and that's for the Story Cottage, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Well, we will call the matter regarding Story Cottage, case number PUD-25-17. It's a request to approve the elevations and site plan for a 6,600 square feet memory care facility. And we have Christy Cashin for the staff.
Yes, good evening. Christy Cashin with Community and Economic Development. The project before you tonight is a request to approve the elevations and site plan for a 6,600 square foot memory care facility. This project is located on two parcels currently addressed 10982 and 10990 Brooks School Road. This project is located in the Story Cottage PUD, ordinance number 012026C, and falls within the suburban residential category of the future land use map comprehensive plan. The site plan shown here shows the proposed building and associated parking. Here's a look at the landscape plan, and as mentioned in the staff report, there are two areas where the project does not meet architectural standards. Firstly, the UDO has a requirement to have off-street parking on the side or the rear of the building, but due to the nature of the narrow site constraints, the parking in the side or the rear was not possible on this particular site. And the second is the UDO requires modulation on all facades, and due to a drainage swale on the northern property line, modulation was not feasible on that side of the building. Here are the elevations. The exterior materials of this building are fiber, cement, and brick, all signage. There is no signage on this, I apologize. There are renderings, these are renderings of the building without any of the proposed landscaping. And here are a couple of images with the proposed landscaping. These are examples of surrounding architecture. Since this project falls within a residential area, all surrounding architecture are residential homes. Staff recommends approval of the proposed elevations and the site plan as presented, with the condition that all TAC comments are addressed during the ILP process. And I am available for questions if you have any from staff.
Thanks, Christy. Any questions for the staff?
do we know why the petitioner was not able to make it?
Staff did not inform them of the meeting attendance tonight. I did just talk to them.
I've only
They
heard
are
this thing
willing.
62 times. I'm going to make a motion to approve based on all the recommendations from staff.
We have a motion by Pete.
But the photorealistic.
Do we have a second?
I will second.
We have a second. Why don't I do it this way? All those in favor, please use the voting sign aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries.
Okay.
Thanks, Christie. The next item has been pulled from the agenda of the Crossing Courier Hotel. So with that, remaining items, staff communications, Ross?
Yes, we do plan on having an August PUD meeting, so that meeting is scheduled for August 5th at 5 PM here in the theater, and we hope you all have a happy 4th of July.
Thank you. With that, we will consider ourselves adjourned.
Yay.
Yeah.